Respect others.
Baha'i Faith.
There are souls in the human world who are ignorant. We must make them knowing. We should never detest and shun them as objectionable and unworthy. We must treat them with honor, respect, and kindness, for God has created them, and not Satan. The promulgation of universal peace.
In brief, all humanity must be looked upon with love, kindness, and respect, for what we behold in them are none other than the signs and traces of God Himself. The promulgation of universal peace.
They must endeavor to consort in a friendly spirit with everyone, must follow moderation in their conduct, must have respect and consideration for one another, and show loving kindness and tender regard to all the peoples of the world. Selections from the writings of Abdul-Baha.
They should see nothing but good in one another, hear nothing but praise of one another, and speak no word of one another, save only to praise. Selections from the writings of Abdul-Baha.
I hope that each one of you will become just and direct your thoughts towards the unity of mankind, that you will never harm your neighbors nor speak ill of anyone, that you will respect the rights of all men and be more concerned for the interests of others than for your own. Thus will you become torches of divine justice, acting in accordance with the teaching. Paris Talks.
Buddhism.
One suffers if dwelling without reverence or deference. Tipitaka.
Pay homage and respect to all Buddhas. Avatamsaka Sutra.
I will treat them, living beings, with the same respect I show my own parents, teachers, elders, arhats, and even the thus come ones. I will serve them all equally without difference. Arhat means a Buddhist saint who has attained liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Avatamsaka Sutra.
Morality is simply all evil not done and all good conduct respectfully practiced. The Buddha speaks of Amitabha Sutra.
Cao Dai.
The Divine Father taught, if you respect me, you should respect the Tao. If you respect the Tao, you must also respect all sentient beings. Divine Messages.
In a meeting where many people do not respect one another, the elders rely on their higher position to speak or act with insolence, demeaning those that are younger, while the young ones are impudent, disrespecting the elders. When order is topsy-turvy, the group will dissolve by itself. Harmony without respect will lead to turmoil. Religious doctrine.
Christianity.
Be devoted to one another in brotherly love. Honor one another above yourselves. Holy Bible.
Show proper respect to everyone. Love the brotherhood of believers. Fear God. Honor the King. Holy Bible.
Do not rebuke an older man harshly, but exhort him as if he were your father. Treat younger men as brothers, older women as mothers, and younger women as sisters, with absolute purity. Give proper recognition to those widows who are really in need. Holy Bible.
Husbands, in the same way be considerate as you live with your wives, and treat them with respect as the weaker partner, and as heirs with you of the gracious gift of life, so that nothing will hinder your prayers. Holy Bible.
Always be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason for the hope that you have. But do this with gentleness and respect, keeping a clear conscience, so that those who speak maliciously against your good behavior in Christ may be ashamed of their slander. Holy Bible.
Blessed is he who has regard for the weak. The Lord delivers him in times of trouble. Holy Bible.
Now we ask you, brothers, to respect those who work hard among you, who are over you in the Lord, and who admonish you. Hold them in the highest regard and love because of their work. Holy Bible.
Confucianism.
When respect is shown according to what is proper, one keeps far from shame and disgrace. The Confucian Analects.
Let the superior man never fail reverentially to order his own conduct, and let him be respectful to others and observant of propriety. Then all within the 4 seas will be his brothers. The Confucian Analects.
The Master said, "A youth is to be regarded with respect. How do we know that his future will not be equal to our present?" The Confucian Analects.
The respectful do not despise others. Mengzi.
The man of propriety shows respect to others. Mengzi.
He who respects others is constantly respected by them. Mengzi.
The feeling of commiseration implies the principle of benevolence, that of shame and dislike, the principle of righteousness, that of reverence and respect, the principle of propriety, and that of approving and disapproving, the principle of knowledge. Mengzi.
Honoring and respecting are what exist before any offering of gifts. Mengzi.
Men of talents and virtue can be familiar with others and yet respect them, can stand in awe of others and yet love them. The Classic of Rights.
The superior man is respectful and reverent, assiduous in his duties and not going beyond them, retiring and yielding, thus illustrating the principle of propriety. The Classic of Rights.
From the affection for parents came the honoring of ancestors. From the honoring of the ancestor came the respect and attention shown to the heads of the family branches. By that respect and attention to those heads, all the members of the kindred were kept together. Through their being kept together came the dignity of the ancestral temple. The Classic of Rights.
If they be courteous and modest, grave and respectful, they have been taught from the Book of Rites and Ceremonies. The Classic of Rites.
Thus it is that the superior man commences with respect as the basis of love. To neglect respect is to leave affection unprovided for. Without loving, there can be no real union, and without respect, the love will not be correct. Yes, love and respect lie at the foundation of government. The Classic of Rights.
Anciently, under the government of the intelligent kings of the 3 dynasties, it was required of a man to show respect to his wife and son. When the path of right government was pursued, the wife was the hostess of the deceased parents. Could any husband dare not to show her respect? And the son was the descendant of those parents. Could any father dare not to show him respect? The superior man's respect is universal. Wherein it appears the greatest is in his respect for himself. He is in his person a branch from his parents. Can any son but have this self-respect? If he is not able to respect his own person, he is wounding his parents. If he wound his parents, he is wounding his own root, and when the root is wounded, the branches will follow it in its dying. The Classic of Rights.
Gentleness and goodness are the roots of humanity. Respect and attention are the ground on which it stands. The Classic of Rights.
Respectfulness and yielding courtesy mark the intercourse of superior men with one another. Hence, when the feudal lords received one another with such respectfulness and yielding courtesy, they would not attack or encroach on one another. The Classic of Rights.
The Scenes.
I will always and everywhere obey with reverence my Master, who gives me the light of the great masters of all times. The Essene Gospel of Peace.
Greek Philosophy.
If anyone be disrespectful to his parents, there is punishment provided for such ingratitude. The laws reject him as an outlaw and will not allow him to be received into any public office. The Memorable Thoughts of Socrates.
Hinduism.
A truly religious man should think that other religions also are paths leading to the truth. We should always maintain an attitude of respect towards other religions. The sayings of Ramakrishna.
People act according to their nature, just as they open and shut their eyelids, and it is only the learned that pay respect to others. The Mahabharata.
Hua Buddhism.
Do not look down on the blind, or you will suffer tenfold later. Prophecy to expound poetry and literature.
An elder, though unacquainted, we should still pay respect. Prophecy to expound the Dharma.
International Society of Krishna Consciousness.
Do not expect honor, but offer all respect to others. Sri Caitanya Kritanta.
One who thinks himself lower than grass, who is more tolerant than a tree, and who does not expect personal honor, but is always prepared to give respect to others, can very easily always chant the holy name of the Lord. Sri Caitanya Karitamta.
He should see in the spirit of renunciation from the mode of goodness, and see every living entity as spiritual. Srimad Bhagavatam.
My dear sons, you should not envy any living entity, be he moving or non-moving. Knowing that I am situated in them, you should offer respect to all of them at every moment. In this way, you offer respect to me. Srimad Bhagavatam.
He is free from all desire for respect, and yet gives respect to all others. Srimad Bhagavatam.
Although a Vaishnava is the most exalted person, he is prideless and gives all respect to everyone, knowing everyone to be the resting place of Krishna. Vaishnava means one who is devoted to the worship of Lord Vishnu. Sri Caitanya Karitamta.
He was respectful to everyone and worked for the benefit of all. Diplomacy, envy, and jealousy were unknown to his heart. Sri Caitanya Kritanta.
To chant the holy name always, one should be humbler than the grass in the street, and devoid of all desire for personal honor. But one should offer others all respectful obeisances. Sri Caitanya Karitamurta.
Islam.
Whether one or both of them attain old age in thy life, say not to them a word of contempt, nor repel them, but address them in terms of honor. Holy Quran.
Judaism.
Rise in the presence of the aged. Show respect for the elderly and revere your God. I am the Lord. Holy Bible.
Moism.
If one has for friends none but those who love magnanimity and righteousness, and who are careful and respectful, of course one's family will become more prosperous, one's person more at peace, and one's name more honorable every day, and as an official one will be properly qualified. Book of Mozi.
Mozi said, one may not act disrespectfully even in woods, valleys, or solitary caves where there is no man. Book of Mozi.
If one is respectful and sincere, one could maintain harmony in the world and stability to the lower earth. Book of Mozi.
The ancient sage kings published laws and issued orders to be standards of reward and punishment, and to encourage the virtuous and to obstruct the evil. And so the people were filial to their parents at home and respectful to the elders in the village or the district. Book of Mozi.
The ancient kings promoted the filial sons and encouraged them to continue to serve their parents, and respected the virtuous and gentle and encouraged them to continue to do good. Book of Mozi.
Mutual love and mutual respect mean really mutual benefit. Book of Mozi.
Sangha of Bhikkhu Buddhist Association.
People who want to benefit themselves and to live long must respect the elders. People who want to be wiser must respect others' wisdom. A person may be older or younger than us, but if he is wiser than us, he's our teacher. Because of respect, we obey and follow his example, and thus we can learn from him to become like the noble heavenly beings. Book of Truth.
Shintoism.
We are all wise sometimes and foolish at others. Therefore, though others give way to anger, let us on the contrary dread our own faults, and though we may think we alone are in the right, let us follow the majority and act like them. Nihonji.
Sikhism.
See the brotherhood of all mankind as the highest order of yogis. Conquer your own mind and conquer the world. Holy Guru Granth Sahib.
Sufism.
If I do not attend to you and do not welcome you or ask after you, this is really a mark of respect. Respect is what is appropriate for the occasion. Discourses of Rumi.
True respect is not a social pleasantry, but is concern for the spiritual honor of others. Discourses of Rumi.
From the front piece of a book, people know what it contains. From outward respect, bowing the head and standing, can be seen what respect they have inwardly, and their respect for God. Discourses of Rumi.
Theosophy.
To cherish and respect parents, old age, learning, virtuous and holy men, to provide food, shelter, and comfort for men and animals, to plant trees on the roads and dig wells for the comfort of travelers. Such are the moral duties of Buddhists. Every Ani or Bhikshuni nun is subjected to these laws. Isis Unveiled.
So shalt thou be in full accord with all that lives. Bear love to men as though they were thy brother pupils, disciples of one teacher, the sons of one sweet mother. The voice of the silence.
The Universal White Brotherhood.
The human being you see today in front of you has been existing for millions of years. God has been working for millions of years over his soul and spirit. The human soul, that is his daughter. The human spirit, that is his son. We should pay great respect and reverence to them. The universal love.
All people should live according to love as brothers and sisters, respecting one another. Awakening of the collective consciousness.
When you see a horse in the forest, go to it, stop in respect, pat its back, turn your eyes to God, and continue your way. If you see an ox, do the same. The divine in you will be awakened, and God will start to speak to you. The little stalk.
You respect people for the consciousness that you have within yourself. You love people for the beautiful, divine noble that you see in yourself. The absolute purity.
Why does the Father love his Son? Because of the respect he has for his own self. This respect is transformed into love for the Son. What is love? To see yourself in others. What is respect? To realize your human dignity. The absolute purity.
In the divine world, everything depends on love. When you descend, you will work on the following ideas: serving, respect, affection. The absolute purity.
In the future, people will face the need for solving the great questions of life. These contradictions, which exist now among the nations, will disappear, and entire humanity will become one big family. Nations and individuals will be the members of this family, respecting and assisting one another in the same way as the organs of a body function together. There will be inner harmony among all. The purpose and the meaning of the human life.
Zoroastrianism.
The performance of agriculture is like that when someone is performing the ceremonial of the sacred beings, and it is necessary to maintain much respect for agriculturists. Saddar.
I reverence righteousness, I reverence the righteous and the poor, men and women. Do thou, O Parashas, prepare a portion for him in whom there is worthiness. Selections of Zodsprung.
For more details, please visit www.suprememastertv.com/WOW-scrolls.